Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're playing a game to read all the TBR books in my TBR. Why is the garbage truck coming through right as soon as I start filming? In the spirit of March Madness coming up and the fact that I have 7 TBR books and 1 rollover book that I'm really wanting to read, I'm gonna play a little bracket game with my TBR. So let me go ahead and tell you the books first, and then we'll talk about the rules, and then we'll get into the first matchup. All right, first of all, I have the rollover pick that I drew from my rollovers bag, the Christmas Wedding Guest. I really want to get into this before my rollovers video, so I would love to at least make good progress in this, and then that way I have more of a chance of like reading multiple books in that video. And of my TBR game, I have the Paid Bridesmaid, Saving Your Marriage Before It Starts, Gospel-Centered Discipleship, Ethics, The Sisters Grimm, and The Two Towers. I went through last night and I paired them off with like the books that they're most similar to. So we have the first game, which will be The Paid Bridesmaid and The Christmas Wedding Guest. The second game will be Saving Your Marriage Before It Starts and Wistress. These were the two that really didn't have like a good pairing, so I just grouped them together. Then we have Gospel-Centered Discipleship and Ethics. They're both small books, so that should be interesting. My 2 more fantasy style books, The Two Towers and The Sisters Grimm. So, how is this gonna work? Do I plan to read all 8 of these books in their entirety through this video? Not at all. So for this first round, it's gonna be the Elite 8 version, and each book I am going to give myself an hour to read as much as I can. And for every chapter that I finish, I will give the book points. So it will get 0 points if that chapter I had a problem with, or there's just something that I really didn't like about it that rubs me the wrong way. I'll give 1 point if I read through a chapter and there are no issues, but there are also no impacts. Nothing really stands out to me. But I did finish that chapter. Then I will give myself 2 points if it's a really enjoyable chapter that would potentially increase the rating. And then a 3-pointer if I have a visibly physical reaction to it. Like if I look shocked, if I cry, if I laugh, if I'm like, what the heck is going on? Like if you could see a physical reaction to the chapter, then I get 3 points for that chapter, or I give 3 points for that chapter. There are 2 ways for one of the books to forfeit the game, and that is not reading at least 1 chapter or DNFing the book. If I finish any of the books during the hour, which I don't think that's going to happen in this round, but if I happen to finish a book within the hour, then I take the points that it earned from all those chapters and I double the points for that book's final score. So how we're gonna then work it is we have a matchup. I think I already said this. We have the matchup between, say, these 2 books. I will then look at the score for each of them, and whichever score is higher will be the winner that goes on to the next round, the final 4. The time increases, and there are some other elements of the game that I introduce. But this is everything we need to know for the first round. Each of these books is gonna get 1 full hour, and we're just gonna see how this goes. Now this video is probably not gonna go up right on Friday because it's going to take me time to give all of these books 8 hours, and then the next 4 will receive an hour and a half each, and then the final 2 will receive 2 hours each. So it's gonna take me time to film this, but I'm so excited. I think it's gonna be so fun. So let's go ahead. I have a little penny here. I'm gonna flip a coin and see which one of these I start first. And heads will be The Paid Bridesmaid and tails will be The Christmas Wedding Guest. Let's find out. Tails. Okay, so I'm gonna start with The Christmas Wedding Guest. I will have an hour of reading this and we'll see how far I get into it. If I read through that full hour, if I DNF it and forfeit the game to The Paid Bridesmaid, in which case I would just move on to the next game, we shall see. I think this is gonna be so fun. I hope you guys enjoy. Let's get into it. I almost finished 4 chapters when the timer rang. So I got credit for 3 chapters and I got a total of 7 points. It would have been 10 if I didn't run out of time, but like I've said before, I really love the main character's sister's storyline, and I'm kind of bored with the main character's storyline. It's not it for me, but like if this book was just her sister's storyline, it would be like 10 stars. I love it. So that's how I'm feeling about this. Now it's time to jump right in to The Paid Bridesmaid. I'm gonna read this for an hour and score it just like I was scoring the others. I'm gonna take out that. Okay, I don't need that. I'm gonna read for an hour, score it just like I just did with The Christmas Wedding Guest, and we'll see which one comes out on top. So I technically ran out of time on that last chapter, but I did get 15 points from this book because the chapters are shorter, so it was easier for me to get through. And I'm discovering that I'm just a very expressive reader, so I think I'm gonna shift things in future rounds for my point system, because otherwise I'm gonna be giving every chapter 3 points for this game, just because like I'm always gonna be laughing or shocked or rolling my eyes or something, and I guess that's just the way that I read. But of these two, I was kind of hoping it would be this one, but The Paid Bridesmaid came out on top, so this will be moving on to round 2 once I finish with the 6 other books that I need to read for an hour. This will be the first in our final 4, so stay tuned for getting back to that one. I'm excited though. I am enjoying it. It has just one storyline that is pretty engaging, so I'm enjoying that. Let's get the penny, and the next set of 2 is Saving Your Marriage Before It Starts and Wishdress, which I have on audio. So we're gonna do Saving Your Marriage Before It Starts will be heads and Wishdress will be tails. So let's see what I land on. Tails again. Okay, so Wishdress is the next book that I will get into. Okay, so I just listened to Wishdress on my iPad for an hour. I got through on 1.5 speed. I got through an hour and 40 minutes of the book, and it was just getting really good when I had to turn it off. So I'm through 6 chapters, and I'm kind of hoping that Wishdress wins this game, but it's time to get into Saving Your Marriage Before It Starts. With 6 points, whereas Wishdress ended up with 7 points. So Wishdress will be going on to the next round. Happy whatever today is. Happy Friday. I'm not feeling the greatest, but it's time to get on with the next game of this round. We're still in the Elite 8. The next matchup is between ethics and gospel-centered discipleship. So I'm literally gonna get my penny and heads is going to be ethics, tails is going to be gospel-centered discipleship, and I will get an hour to read each of these. Gotta catch it in order to properly flip it. Heads. Okay, so we will start with, I said ethics. No, I said ethics, so we'll go with that. Hour of ethics. Of course, if I DNF it, I forfeit the game, and this automatically wins. Tempting, but I'm going to try to get an hour of reading of each of these. Finished 3 chapters of this and got into the 4th one. 2 of the chapters were kind of meh, but the chapter that I was reading when the timer went off was really good, so looking forward to getting back into that if this is the book that wins this game. But now I need to read Gospel-Centered Discipleship for an hour, so we'll see. Very similar writing style but different vibe, so we'll see what we think of this. Okay, so that game is done, and I almost finished 3 chapters of this and got 6 points, whereas I almost finished 4 chapters of this and got 4 points. So this is the winner here. This will go on to the final 4 that is to come. We have 2 more books for this round. We have The Two Towers and The Sisters Grimm. I'm gonna go ahead and say that Heads is The Sisters Grimm and Tails is The Two Towers. So let's see what we can get. Tails. So we'll start with The Two Towers, read that for an hour, and then we'll read The Sisters Grimm for an hour and see which one of those wins. Okay, finished this. Very decent progress. For one thing, I feel dumb.
Because I used this for my longest on my TBR. Because Goodreads has it as the longest, and the ending is like 725 pages. Because it continues with the page count from the Fellowship of the Ring, and so the first page in this book is 403. I was like, there's no way that's 700 pages. It makes no sense. Yeah, obviously. I gave this 3 points because I only got to chapter 3, so. Because the chapters in this are long.
I'm gonna read an hour of The Sisters Grimm, and we'll see if I'm enjoying this one more than The Two Towers based on how many points I give it. Now, I don't know how short these chapters are. It looks like they're pretty short, so this one will probably end up getting more points, but you never know. I may not like it at all, and it may forfeit to this one. So, we'll see what happens. Let's do this. loved the prologue in the first chapter, and then the rest have been kind of meh / problematic. So, not loving this. However, it got 9 points as opposed to this got 3. So this one will be going on to the next round, the final 4. Let's go ahead and talk about what those will be. Here's my stack. This is representative of my audiobook. I have these 4 books that are the final 4. So we have The Paid Bridesmaid versus Wistress, the first game, and then Gospel-Centered Discipleship versus the Sisters Grimm for the second game. It's the same rules except for 3-pointers are only going to be if I smile or laugh, cry, or like cover my mouth like in shock or surprised or anything like that. I will be reading in 45-minute segments, but an hour and a half for each book. So I'm going to read this for 45 minutes, then I'm going to take a break, and then I'll read for another 45 minutes, and that will be the end of that book. And then I'll continue on with Wistress, 45 minutes, take a break, 45 minutes, and so on and so forth. Not me realizing that I totally forgot to restart the timer when I was interrupted. That was 16 points this earned in the last hour and a half, and their humor is so savage and I love it. It is very descriptive slash suggestive, but so far nothing's been opened to her. Nothing super problematic yet, and I'm slightly more than halfway through. So, good progress. The next round the next book that I need to read will be Wistress for an hour and a half. So I'm interested to see like which one of those two wins out in this round. I'm about to listen to Wistress. I'm going to listen to 45 minutes while playing The Sims because I have to have something that I'm doing with my hands while I'm listening to an audiobook. But I'm going to do that for 45 minutes, take a break, and then do it for 45 more minutes, and then we'll see which of these books wins and goes on to the next round. Okay, so I just finished listening to Wistress, and how many points was it? It got 8 points compared to The Paid Bridesmaid, which got 16. The Paid Bridesmaid is going to be moving on to the championship round. And so the next round is going to be the Gospel-Centered Discipleship and the Sisters Grimm. But right now, I'm playing The Sims because today the infant update came out, and it's so fun just like exploring and seeing what the infants are doing. Like, I feel like they're not really infants, they're more like toddlers. They're more like what the toddlers should be, like young toddlers, whereas the toddlers are more like preschoolers. Anyway, details. But I'm gonna play for a little while longer and then get back to reading later when I feel like it, when I feel like I've explored all there is to explore of this new update. I feel like I'm looking increasingly more awful as this video goes on, but we gotta finish it today. So coin toss between Gospel-Centered Discipleship, Sisters Grimm. Gospel-Centered Discipleship will be heads, and Sisters Grimm will be tails. Let's find out what it's going to be. Oops. Heads. So I will read this for 45 minutes, then another 45 minutes, and we'll see how many points it gets. Obviously. Okay, this would have been 11 points, but I didn't quite finish the chapter that I was reading when the alarm went off. So it's 8 points, and I am just kind of hoping that the Sisters Grimm is not more than 8 points. I really am enjoying this. This has some really good quotes in it. I don't understand why I didn't like it when I read it first 10 years ago. But yeah. Finally time to read the Sisters Grimm for an hour and a half. 45 minutes, then a break, then 45 minutes, or I might just fly right through it, I don't know. Or I might DNF it, who knows? We shall see what happens. Guys, I kind of hate to do this, but I think I'm gonna sort of DNF this. I might come back to it at some point, but I have had to skip a few different parts of this already, and I'm not even that far into it, and I'm not exactly sure that I care where it's going to, but then at the same time I want to know, like, am I going to enjoy this book? But it's almost, I don't know. I love the concept of this. I'm just not loving the execution, because there are certain aspects, like I'll be reading and I'll be enjoying it, and then they'll bring up like a topic that's not something that I want to read about, because it's not something that I would, you know, be okay with in real life, so I don't really want to read it. And it's just, and it's all the same character. So I think that's the one thing that I'm like having issues with. Like, I could just skip that characters, but then I feel like I'd be missing a lot of the story, and I just don't know. But for the purposes of this video, I am going to soft DNF this, and we're just going to call it a win for this round with Gospel-Centered Discipleship, because I'm loving this book, and I feel like I would rather this move forward than this, and I'm not even sure I'm going to get back to this. So, forfeit! Here's our winner for this round. But also, low-key, I kind of wanted to at least use that forfeit option at some point in this game, so yay. Alright, so here we have the last two, the championship here. Not too far from the end for a Gospel-Centered Discipleship. With 2 hours of reading, there's a good chance I could finish this and then would be doubling the points. And then with this one, I've really enjoyed it so far, and I'm about halfway through, but 2 hours of reading could make a big difference. Plus the chapters here are shorter than the chapters here. So this is going to be interesting to see who comes out on top, and I'm super excited about it. Very different genre, very different books. I am hopeful that this will continue to be closed door romance, although It definitely is pushing the boundaries on that, so I'm not loving it for that. But I like the story and I'm like rooting for the characters. But if it starts to get like open door, that kind of thing, I'll have to start skipping and that could cause problems. I could even end up DNFing this. We shall see. I don't know. It's gonna be very interesting to see what happens here. But let's just real quick go over the rules and then we'll do the coin toss. 2 hours each book. So I'm gonna read an hour, take a break, read an hour, take a break, read an hour, take a break, and read an hour, take a break on whichever books go first. And then the point system is the same except for 3-pointers. I can get 3-pointers if I smile, cry, laugh, gasp, or annotate. So if I no, that's what I meant, not annotate. Oh my goodness, tab. If I tab it, we put a tab in the book, that's a 3-point for that chapter. Anyway, let's get the coin and we'll find out what's going to be first. Alright, picked it up, didn't look at it. Heads. Okay, that's the first one, the paid bridesmaid. So I'm going to read this for 2 hours and we'll see what happens. So I have a few more chapters before the end of this book, and so far so good. So far we haven't had anything to crossing the line. Sorry, my hair looks absolutely ridiculous. I just want to know what happens. Okay, my friends, the timer has not gone off for the first half. However, I have finished Gospel-Centered Discipleship, and the rule is if I finish the book, I take the points from this round and I double it for the final score. So the points that I earned in this part of reading was 7, so double that is 14. However, the paid bridesmaid score was 22, so this is the ultimate winner. I am gonna try to finish this up. I wonder if I should just finish it for this video. Like, I feel like that would be really anticlimactic for you guys, for me to be like, oh, this is the winner, but I haven't finished it. So I think I'm gonna finish this real fast. But yeah, I need to look through what I rated each chapter for this to figure out the rating. It definitely went downhill like the last 2 chapters. It was not as engaging. And then he made like a comment that really was really irritating. Like, I literally drew a rolling my eyes emoji in my book. But most of this was really great, and I don't know why I didn't like it when I read it 10 years ago. Like, it was really good. Although I could give it 4.5 stars, I think I'm gonna just give it 4. It wasn't quite that high for me, especially in the ending, but it was really good. And I did end up, I don't know if you could tell that, but I did end up tabbing a little bit, just some things that I would like to be able to look back on and use in the future. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and I am gonna finish this just because there's not that much left. And I have such high hopes. I hope that they don't open the door, so to speak. I'm enjoying that this is closed door romance. I think it could be less. It could just be less, but so far it's not been crossing that line. So I'm gonna read the rest of this. Okay, that got stressful for a minute, but I love the ending. I love when the epilogue is like actually a continuation of the story instead of just like something completely random. This was a great ending. I appreciate the fact that it was closed door the whole way through. Like the kissing was definitely more descriptive than it could be. Anyway, that's everything for this video. Of all of these books, I have the whole stack down there, but of everything that I read, finished 2 books finally, and this is the winner, and it really was. I've got to think about the rate somewhere in the 4-star range. Overall, this was so much fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I am so glad that I made this video. So like, if you enjoyed it, comment below. I'm going to be jumping into my Backlist Readathon TBR, and that should be the next video that you guys see from me, hopefully Friday. If not, I'll get it up as soon as I can. I know I've not been super consistent about Monday, Wednesday, Friday uploads the last few weeks with everything going on, but the goal is definitely to get back into that. And yeah, that's everything. Please subscribe if you have not already so you don't miss future videos, and I will talk to you all next time. Bye.